Perfect. Hello, all of you beautiful faces. I'm so excited that you came to this fat loss class. I am your host, Mandy Podlesny, and I am excited to coach you, teach you, train you, and answer all of your questions. So I am going to screen share. I have a presentation, and then of course I'm going to open it up for questions. I have a whole bunch of other questions as well from the pre-submitted things, and I'm so excited to share that with you. And then as you guys come along, just save your questions for the end because I truly have a Dory brain, and if I dive into one question, I'm gonna like just get lost in all of them. So I'm going to just do the presentation and then I will pop back into the chat and then we will get your questions answered, okay? We're going to do this, present. Oh, wait. Screen share. Mary, I'm going to actually just mute you. So, because again, Dory brain, so. You can unmute at the end for sure. All right. Hello. I want to teach you how to lose weight and feel great in 30 days or less. And my promise to you, by the end of this presentation, you are going to find freedom from diets and all of the drama around losing weight and feeling great. You are going to feel empowered to reclaim control of your life, your healthy habits, and your choices. And you're going to understand how simply and easily you can actually lose weight and feel great, and you could still have carbs. So my personal story. So hi, if I don't know y'all already, my name is Mandy Podlesny. I have a personal story. The reason why I do what I do is because I, like many of you, was confused, overwhelmed, frustrated. My story is actually not a weight loss story, but more of a muscle building story if we have to talk about body composition. But your diet, your health, your wellness is all connected based on your health and wellness and like how you're fueling your body. And the reason why I do what I do and the reason why I want to help you ditch the diet drama and the reason why I teach basically low carb clean eating and, encouraging and empowerment is because I've had a story myself. So at 19, I had knee pain, I had a meniscal tear, and I was just a normal college kid, just thinking I was going to live my life. And I couldn't bend down to pick up a shoe. I got a whole bunch of exploratory surgeries, and the pain and the swelling would just not go away. And it was turned into a 12-year battle, and my joints progressively all got impacted and inflamed, and I was having limited mobility. I was walking like a grandma at 22 years old, trying to live my best, graduate college and all of the things, live my best life. And it turned into seeing doctors. It turned into health insurance claims. It turned into, oh my God, I'm about to graduate or I'm about to get off of my parents' insurance. Like, what do? I'm an adult now. And there was just so many things that were in my way. And what I would do is I would like go down the Google rabbit hole and I would Google like anti-inflammatory diets. And then I would try it for like 4 days, or 4 weeks, or however long I would need to try it. And then I wouldn't quote unquote get results. Or I would feel guilty because I wanted to eat some cheese, or I wanted to like do it the way that they were telling me but I wasn't doing it what I thought was quote unquote right. And I was back and forth, yo-yo dieting, emotional eating, binge eating. I was partying it up, living my best life, avoiding my health problems. And I was at such a low, I was up and down with my weight, but I was at a very low dangerous BMI. You could see in this photo, like my eyes were sunken in. And it wasn't until my dad actually kicked my butt and literally, if you have kiddos, I'm sorry. He literally told me, he's like, you look like shit. And he didn't tell me something that I didn't already know inside. And that actually, my dad's an amazing guy. Don't worry. He was just telling me what I needed to hear. It really just helped me choose a new path. It helped me to take my power back. It helped me really reshape my belief systems around diets, around inflammation, around struggles, and stop the excuses of, oh, well, I can't because. And then I just started to decide that, okay, I'm just going to simplify everything and do what works best for Mandy, not what's works best for this person, this person, this person. Does this sound familiar to any of y'all? Well, yeah, I'm seeing some head shakes. So I went from trying to just basically survive to finally getting results. I discovered the power of pure therapeutic ketones, which puts your body in ketosis. I'll talk about that in a little bit. That introduced me to the state of ketosis, which is it's a healing mechanism and not actually just for dieting. And it really just made me go on this 7-year path of dedicating my life to really helping you understand that you can simplify, you can be consistent, and you can get results, and you can have carbs. And even if you don't drink ketones, which you're totally an adult, and there's no pressure here at all to do that, even though I'm highly encouraged because it did change my life after 12 years of struggling, you can do what I'm telling you to do in this presentation, and you're going to see results. So at the end of the day, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And what I find is that people get stuck in the diet hamster wheel, just like I was. I was Googling every diet. I would love to know in the chats, like, how many diets have you tried? What diets have you tried? Are you feeling like you are in a diet hamster wheel right now? But if you're continuing to do the same thing over and over again, that's literally insanity. If you look it up in the dictionary, I don't know if it really is in the dictionary, but you know what I mean? It is insanity. You're banging your head against the wall, banging your head against the wall, banging your head against the wall. Trying to fix your diet problems with more diets is like trying to fix a hole with a hammer. It's not going to work. You have to work on other things first. So I'm a non-traditional person. I like to break the rules. I got results by breaking all of the quote unquote diet rules. And I crafted the MET method, and it's mindset, execution of tactics. Okay. So you have your mindset. That is the first thing. So while y'all probably came on here and while y'all submitted amazing forms on, all of your questions on, well, how much protein, well, how many macros and this and that, like, how do I get willpower? Well, it starts with your mindset first. If you don't have a good mindset, how are you going to execute all of the tactics anyway? And of tactics, I mean by diets. So if your mind's not right, you're never going to execute, and you're never going to really understand the tactics don't matter. Does that make sense to everybody? Give me a thumbs up or a heck yeah. Okay. So when it comes to mindset, we're going to talk about that. But like, when it comes to mindset, you have to understand exactly like why you're doing what you're doing. And in order for you to get more motivation, to get more goal, like have your goals set, in order to get more motivation, you have to have your why, you have to have your goals set. And if you don't have these things, your goals are not clear enough. Someone's okay. So if you're not understanding like, oh, well, I need more willpower and I don't have a why, or I don't have any motivation and I'm not understanding like why I can't do the things, like, you are smart people, like, you know what things you're supposed to be doing. We just have our brains that block us. And if you don't have the motivation, it's because your why is not clear enough and your goals aren't specific enough. Because you ever hear of like the mom who like has her kid in the car and like it like the car is about to explode, and then the mom gets all of this like monster energy and is like able to push the car up because she has all of this like strength and intuition that she needs to save her kid. It's like a primal response. It's kind of the same thing here. Like, people will drive and move mountains and lift up cars to get to whatever they need to get to because it's all in their mind. And if we don't have a why and we don't have a goal that's clear enough, you're never going to have motivation. You're never going to have willpower. You're never going to stick to it. And you're never going to do the things. And instead of focusing so much on how to do things, how much protein, how much should I fast? What product should I take? Like, what should I do? Like, what my macros should be. Do you have a why? Why do you want to understand all of that? Because that's not going to make sense to you. Understanding how much protein you're consuming, you're not going to consume enough protein if you're emotionally eating every single day. But if you're emotionally eating every single day, your why is not strong enough and you don't have a goal because you're not acting accordingly. Does that make sense? So I just very much drill home and have you understand that, because it's just super important to make changes. So on the form that a lot of y'all filled out, there's so many like, my husband doesn't do keto, my blah, 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 like my health challenges, my hormones. Well, I fully understand your husband might not be very easily able to get along with, and he might mean well when he brings home the pizza. But at the end of the day, who's putting the pizza in the mouth? Right? Your kids who are not on the diet that you're doing aren't force feeding you the pizza. Your hormones, I will say that hormonal Holly does have a control on me sometimes. However, at the end of the day, we have to control our own hormonal Hollies and make good decisions that supports our hormones and not perpetuates it, right? Having a slow metabolism, from what perspective are you actually supporting your metabolism with the choices that you're making, right? There's a lot of excuses, which they might be obstacles. However, it's a lot easier to make an excuse than it is to make a good choice. So we have to focus on how and who we need to become in order to make those good choices. Are y'all tracking with me? Okay. So you have to take your power back. You have to decide, who are you becoming? Because your results are a matter of who, not a matter of what. Okay, so I gave you the lowdown and the tough love and the mindset shifts. Hopefully y'all are tracking. We're going to go into healthy habits. Okay. So all of these healthy habits, if you do what I'm saying here with these healthy habits, you're going to actually see results. So the first healthy habit that we have to focus on is food for fuel, and understanding fuel and understanding consistency and understanding choices over math. Okay. So while most of y'all were like, is keto this? And like a lot of people are like, oh, well, should I do keto? What's sustainable? How can I do it? Is it safe? My question is for you, what's not safe? One, right? We have like this fear of like, oh my God, should I do keto? Is it safe? Can I do it? Like, oh my God. What's the alternative? Continuing to eat processed crappy food every other weekend and being overly overweight and miserable and tired and not happy with yourself? What's more dangerous? Eating a diet of meat, veggies, cooked in healthy fats for 90% of your diet and then living your best life and enjoying margaritas and chips and salsa on happy hour on Friday? Like, we have to remember that food is fuel and food is fun. And if you're not consistent, you should not be calculating anything. Because the energy, unless you listen, I am an anti-macro person. You should not be counting. I am a choice person. I'm a consistency person. I'm a mindset person. And listen, you have to do what's best for you. Some people like to count and like to do the app because it holds them accountable. However, I personally just don't have time for that. I can barely like use a calculator. Okay. So I would prefer to make my energy expel my energy to choices. Is this choice in support of my goal? Is this choice moving me away from my goal? You will be significantly surprised at how much weight you will lose and how much better you will feel in just 7 days of eating meat, veggies, cooked in a healthy fat. And then 10%, you can enjoy your life. But when it goes like 70-30 or like 90-10 the other way, that is not a good thing. And then you want to practice intermittent fasting. So my general rule, a lot of people are asking that, like, how do I eat or how do I intermittent fast? Guys, intermittent fasting is don't eat. And there's 1,000,001 ways to fast. You can fast. And what is the outcome? I want you to always start remembering, what is the outcome I'm trying to achieve here in order for me to actually get the results that I want? What am I trying to achieve here? Like, if you're just trying to lose weight and feel great, then just shrink your eating window to a specific time. It's that simple. We overcomplicate way too much. So practice some intermittent fasting, eat when you're hungry, not when you're full, stop when you're full, eat meat, veggies, cooked in healthy fat, and then 10% get on with your bad self. Consistently make good choices. And then you will never have to actually macro count ever again. And then on top of that, if you're doing just this, you're going to see results in 30 days. I'd be hard pressed to believe that if you were eating a meat, a veggie cooked in healthy fat for 90% of your diet and then doing the other things I'm going to say, I would be very hard pressed to believe that you did not lose some weight and start feeling great. It's never happened in 2,000 people I've worked with, by the way. So we have other habits here as well. We have our self-care, which is super important. If you manage your mood, you manage your food. if you're not practicing self-care and you're stressed out all the time and you're making these excuses that you're busy, your husband, your hormones, and that's not self-care. Or that is that's not taking care of yourself. You have to practice self-care. Self-care in terms of setting boundaries, self-care in terms of communicating with somebody. Self-care is getting off of Facebook if that doesn't feel good to you. Self-care is managing your stress levels per day so you're not emotionally eating and self-sabotaging. Self-care is taking a deep breath when you're overwhelmed and stressed and making a better decision. But if you're not practicing self-care, your mood's not going to be good and your food's not going to be good. So self-care, prioritize number 1. 2, movement. And I don't want to hear, well, my big toe-itis. You're talking from somebody who has knee replacements, 5 surgeries in 2 years, plus a broken hip. I'm bionic all over the place. Some days my autoimmune is just out of control and I can't walk, but I can stretch in bed. You can pop on a YouTube video and do 10 minutes. You can go for a walk. You can do senior citizen chair yoga. I've done that. I'm 39 soon. There's no reason that we can't, at some capacity, move our bodies. And I want you guys to Google Nick Sanastasio. I should have put his picture here. He has no arms, no legs, and he's a professional bodybuilder. So when I say that if your why is strong enough and you can find a solution, do you think Nick has a complaint that he doesn't have an arm, he has 1 arm, 1 finger, and no legs? Do you think he's a professional bodybuilder? So I think sometimes when I'm hurting, I think of Nick and I'm like, okay, if Nick can do it, I can do it. If your elbow's hurting, but your legs are fine, you can go for a walk. Just don't do arm day, right? But we just make these excuses. And if you are up and up on the Real Housewives of Bravo TV, you have time to move your body, okay? So we have to not make excuses and we have to find solutions. So self-care, movement, hydration, drink your dang water, and sleep are super important. And I want to go back to movement for a second because movement isn't just about like the fat loss. It's for mental health. It's for self-care. It's for energy. It's for mobility. It's for preserving and protecting your muscles. It's for your mental health. It's for your emotional regulation. It's for stress relief. Like there's so many other things. And listen, I just had a conversation with somebody today on my team. She's struggling with movement. I'm personally struggling with movement. I'm forcing myself to do little things. I've made a kind of excuses here and there. But I've committed to like going for a walk and I've committed for 3 days a week to do a YouTube workout. There's hundreds of videos that are free for movement. So let's just find something that brings you joy and like you're excited about. Like there's walking, there's, like I said, senior citizens, there's like so many things you could do on YouTube that doesn't cost anything either. So self-care, movement, hydration, you need to hydrate your cells. You need to actually flush out toxins. You need to make sure that your cells are performing at a good level so that it can release fat and you can feel good and hydrated and you can think better, etc. Then we want to get sleep. If you're not sleeping, you're not repairing. If you're not sleeping, you're probably in a low vibe mood. If you're not sleeping, you're probably in some capacity a little bit stressed out and things like that. All of these things all work together. And if you're not doing these things 10 out of 10 on all of them, that's where your work lies. Not math calculations, not switching up your diet again, not switching up, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. It's taking your power back. And it's really, truly being like, okay, I need to work on my self-care. I need to work on my movement. I need to work on my hydration. I need to work on my sleep. I need to eat better. Like, where do you have work to do? Those are the things that need to be focused on first. Okay. So if you do all of these things, 10 out of 10, the best of your ability, you're going to lose weight and you're going to feel great. But at the end of the day, we have to be our best boss, worst boss, and really ask ourselves like, okay, am I really 10 out of 10 on self-care stress management? Am I really 10 out of 10 and doing the best I can on movement? Am I really 10 out of 10 on drinking my water? Am I really 10 out of 10 on sleep? And am I really 10 out of 10 on clean eating straight up meat and veggies? And do I need to change the ratio? So those are the healthy habits. Now I want to talk about understanding pure therapeutic ketones or beta hydroxybutyrate, which is called a ketone molecule. So this is the cheat code to ketosis. I was not on a weight loss journey. This is not a weight loss product. This is actually getting the benefits of healing your metabolism and managing your energy and helping getting assistance with your choices in order for you to see results without having to do a strict ketogenic diet. A strict ketogenic diet will bring you energy, focus, appetite suppression, better mood, better skin, better digestion, better sleep. There's so many benefits to having like being in a ketogenic state. However, most people can't get into a ketogenic state. Most people are metabolically challenged, type 1, type 2 diabetes. They have autoimmune issues like I do. They have food choice issues. They don't want to stick to a diet for 6 to 8 weeks to become fat adapted to where you're actually a fat burner. And that requires a level of discipline and strict restriction that I'm hard pressed to believe that most people can adhere to. And for the keto Karens that can, more power to you. But I'd say most people just want to lose weight, feel great, and enjoy their life. Would that be fair to say? So in order for you to actually lose weight and feel great, you can do what I'm saying: your food, nutrition, your movement, your self-care, your sleep, and hydration every single day. But if you want to get to your results faster, if you want to increase your energy and you want to utilize the benefits of getting yourself into a therapeutic state without having to do the 6 to 8 week process, you can actually drink pure BHB, which is our Prove It Nat. There's no other product on the market like it. Yes, you can buy them at Walmart. However, they're the Walmart version of ketones and they don't work because pure therapeutic ketone nat BHB is actually the exact ketone molecule that your body produces inside, like when you're trying to do that 6 to 8 week process. Your body has no idea if you produce them for 6 to 8 weeks or if you drank them in 30 minutes. Your body will utilize them the exact same. In addition to them being the only one that's the identical, bioidentical ketone molecule in your body, they're the only ones that are naturally bonded. So they're not bonded with chemicals. They're not bonded with anything. They're bonded to the ketone molecule with vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes. There's nothing unnatural about them. I am a huge ingredient snob. And I would not consume something that is unnatural. So they're flavored with vitamins, minerals, and all natural flavors and essenced from fruit, vegetable, or fruits, pretty much, and then other flavoring. And I love them. And I understand when it comes to, is this an investment? Like, how do you afford them? Like, I get it. First and foremost, people will spend so much money on Stanley Cups and at Target and on DoorDash and on Starbucks and 5-Hour Energies and all of those things. When I started, I was on disability. I was recovering from surgery. I was up to my eyeballs in medical debt. I could not pay for the 5-pack test drive trial pack that we have available. I could not even afford the $130 for the month that it was for. So I was freaking out. But for some reason, God just led me to making a decision to pay off a couple dollars off my credit card so I could get the trial pack. I tried the trial pack and it turned my brain on and released this pressure in my body within a half a pack. I was able to walk down the stairs for the first time, one foot in front of the other. I had energy. I was literally sleeping every couple hours because I couldn't keep my eyes open. Like, that's how chronically fatigued I was. I was yo-yo dieting. So I would like go super hard and eat like nachos for 7 days. And then I would feel like crap and feel guilty. And then I would be inflamed and just miserable. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to eat clean. This actually regulated my ability to make better food choices, suppressed my appetite. So I was able to practice some intermittent fasting to do some detox and healing. And I obviously, like, you can't just drink a product and expect miracles and eat nachos. I started to change my habits and I started to develop the healing. And I started utilizing the fact that this is a healing metabolic mechanism that actually assists with energy, inflammation, focus, mood, so many other benefits. That weight loss just happens for people because you're getting the benefits of it. It's not I'm going to drink this until I get to this result. I've been drinking and sharing these for 7 years. But when I tell you I couldn't afford it, I literally could not afford it. And I think sometimes we make up an excuse like, oh, I can't afford it, or this, that, and the other, because we see the price and not really understand the value. But like, what does it cost you to be overweight, tired, exhausted, snapping at your kids, consistently being overweight, consistently running the same story over and over in your head that I'll start Monday, I'll start Monday. And then by Thursday, you're back in the same cycle over and over and over again. So what does that cost you versus what are you willing to pay to actually have it? We have price points all over the map. You can get started with a test drive for a couple of packs to do a couple flavors. It's about $5 a day. Most people, the most successful people, drink 1 or 2 a day. But when you're first starting out, I would suggest just drinking 1. I drink two or 3, and I've been drinking and sharing for 7 years, and now I can afford them because I have I've healed not only my body but my bank account as a result of this. You can share it and earn points, and you can earn an income as well with this. But that's, if it's not for you, that's okay too. But like, you're going to absolutely love it. So whoever invited you to watch this video, if I invited you to watch this video and you're interested in getting some ketones, I would absolutely love to talk to you, or again, reach out to whoever invited you to this video, and you can most certainly get started on that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is getting a support system. So we have a free Facebook community that I absolutely would love to invite you to. If you're interested, just shoot me a message or stay tuned for your email and you'll get access to that, or reach out to whoever invited you to get access to that. Absolutely love our Facebook community. It's great. Our team run it, and there's recipes and things like that in there. And recipes, support, all of the coaches are there, and all of my team is there to give you guidance and support as well. So I definitely suggest getting that, because you can't keep blaming your husband if you don't, you can come and complain about your husband in our free Facebook group. And then the other thing that I would offer you is join my off social media membership. If you liked this class, you want my expert advice, you want monthly classes, recipes, fat loss challenges for the entire month, and you want to pay a low cost for coaching, you can ask me for an application to apply. I don't take everybody. We're launching this. We're keeping the vibe high. It's off of Facebook, so you don't have to worry about spam and ads and being distracted by the red notifications of the Facebooks or the Keto Karens that are miserable. None of that's there. That's why we do the application. I would love to chat with you further about that as well. So that's all I got for y'all. I am going to, hello, Fran. Hello. Awesome. Cool. Okay. So I have questions that were kind of asked, but I think that I covered most of them in the information that I gave. So, and I want to give you guys and respect and honor your time. For anybody that wants to unmute and ask a question, I will do that. And then if not, then I will peruse through and see what questions I can answer. So who wants to unmute and say hi and ask me a question? And I know once one person asks, somebody else will ask. So we just need the first person to like turtle arm it up. I don't bite. I promise I'm really nice. So if y'all want to ask a question, go ahead. I know once one person does, everybody else does. So.
Well, this is Fran.
Hi, Fran.
And I do have a question.
Yay.
Okay. I think for me, I just need to know how to get started. To actually start.
Okay. So start what?
Start the ketones.
You want to start ketones, or you want to start changing your life and your diet and your choices and all of that?
Well, I'm pretty good about my diet and choices.
Okay.
I'm probably right now like 15 pounds overweight.
Okay.
Due to I had cancer on my leg. And I had that all taken care of. And so I'm now want to get back to where I was before. And I've taken the NAT product. But it's been a while, and so I have forgotten a little bit of the stuff that goes along with learning about the state of being in ketosis.
So so what are your information, like what information are you looking for specifically?
Well, I kind of missed what you were saying about eating the right. I'm eating the right foods.
Okay, I want to answer your questions, but I heard 3 different questions. How do I get started? How do I get started on that? What is ketosis? And the last one was about choices. So
Yeah.
I'm here to answer all of them, but I want to know what's your true desire, because this is where the brain goes. We create all of these. Should I do this?
I want
I
to
don't know how
know how to start eating the right food to put myself into ketosis.
Do you care about ketosis or do you care about results?
I care about both because I don't know. I think I kind of tuned in late, and I don't know if I heard what I need as far as the fat end of things. The fat, you said meats, and I'm looking at my notes. You said, oh, I guess I didn't take very good notes. I don't know. Maybe I'll just listen. I'm lost.
It's okay. So this is a great, you are in safe and a supported, loving community. 1, 2, this is perfect because this is like 99% of how people's brains work. And they ask a whole bunch of questions, but not understand the outcome. What do you want is truly what we need to get clear on, right? Like, what do you truly want? Like, what is your outcome? Because if you don't
I want to
understand
get rid
that,
of 15 pounds.
hold on. So you want to lose 15 pounds. That's your outcome, right?
Yes, but I liked being when I did this before, I really liked how I felt when I was in ketosis and doing the right thing. But I'm not so sure I didn't starve myself a lot.
No one's starving. We don't want to starve ourselves. So do you see like, okay, so if you want to lose 10 to 15 pounds, why do you want to lose 10 to 15 pounds?
So my clothes will fit better, and so I will feel better about myself.
And what's preventing you right now from making good, consistent, healthy choices to support that goal right now? Let's leave ketosis and that and all of that aside.
I have a very I have a position that I am extremely stressed. It's a very high-paying position that I'm very stressed.
So you're stressed. Okay. And you think that stress is what's preventing you from not making good, consistent, healthy habit choices?
Yeah, and I can't sleep well. It's those things that you mentioned that are necessary. The movement, I'm good on that. I don't hydrate well. I don't know. I'm just going to listen. I just listen.
No, I love this because this is how our brains work. I'm sure 99% of the people on here are also thinking the exact same thing. I see a lot of head yeses. So I love line of questioning because we're going to redirect you. And I appreciate your vulnerability. So please understand that this is all normal. And like, while I might have this in the healthy habits space, I was just on a coaching call earlier today with a coach and I was like, I don't know what to do. And she like, I sounded like this is why we get coaching. This is why we join mentorships. This is why we join the monthly membership to have this opportunity to have this, perspective shift. Cause sometimes again, we bang our head against the wall over and over and over again and trying to break through when all we need is just somebody to turn us around. So I would say ketosis is the last of your worries. You understanding why you are not making good, healthy habits and focusing first on, okay, I need to improve my food. I need to improve my sleep. I need to take my power back and stop blaming my stress for the reason why I'm making poor choices. I, Fran, am making poor choices because I am stressed out. I need to now learn how to stress manage my mood, manage my food. That should be your focus instead of how do I get in ketosis? Because at the end of the day, if you're stressed out, you're not going to get in ketosis. And if you're stressed out, you're not going to make the food choices either. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got to like the tactics are really cool because we want to learn all the tactics. Like, how do I do it? Like, oh my God, but it's who does Fran need to become in order to actually make good choices? Fran, for Fran to make good choices, she's got to learn emotional regulation skills and stress management skills and drink your dang water and get some sleep. You know what I mean? And practice self-care.
Right.
Does that make sense to you and encourage you and like,
Yes.
right? And then reach out to whoever you ordered ketones from and get to drinking, girl, because it's that simple. I promise you. If you do all of these things and stop worrying about ketosis and stop worrying about how much protein and how do I get started? Well, how do you get started is by who do you need to become? What do you want? What's your why? And is my why strong enough to prevent me from stress eating because I know that I want to lose 10 to 15 pounds. Okay, well, am I acting in accordance to that goal? And if you're not acting accordingly, then that's a who thing, not a what thing. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And I will say 10 to 15 pounds, there's not really room for like error. There's not error, but like you can't be you have to be 90-10 very diligently. Whereas some people, if they have like, it has to be very on, I would focus on these healthy habits. I would focus on getting your food and everything cleaned up. But like dialing in on these healthy habits, there's really no wiggle room because that's only a 10 to 15 pound differential. So I would really focus on that and then it will start to release.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Report back. I want to hear I'm 10 out of 10 for 30 days.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. There was somebody who's very indestructible. That is your Zoom name. You said hi. You can unmute. I would love to chat.
Yes, I do have a question.
Hey, great. What's your name?
My name is Alicia.
Hi.
So my thing is, I am a sweet lover and a secret eater, meaning that when people might see me eating like healthy in front of them, but like whenever I crave sweets, I'm gonna eat them in secret, like, and then not just like one, so I'm gonna eat them kind of like in bulk. And that's what I'm trying to break. Like, how can I get out of just needing a sweet every time that like I'm in secret or I get stressed out? Is there like something I can do to change that?
Yeah. Thank you for this question. I love it. Okay. So this happens when there's a biological thing, there's a mindset thing, and then there's like the tactic, right? So if you're eating when you're stressed, that kickstarts your energy. You're expelling energy being stressed, and then your body is going to literally crave sugar and carbs because it needs a quick bite of energy, right? So that's when we're stressed out. We also have sugar cravings, right? So understand that from a biology standpoint, and then understand too that you've literally conditioned yourself to like stress, sweets, sweets. So not only do you have biology, but then you have your programming that have been impacting that. So awareness is half the battle. So we're 50% there. You're understanding that stress, you're like Pavlov's dog, right? Like stress, sweets, right? And then you've patterned yourself to do the behavior. So you have to recognize and have the awareness that the behavior is no longer serving you, which I think that you're here for that. And you have to understand that like, you can't just magically shut it off. This is going to be okay, I need to become a person who's not a stress eater or sweet eater when I'm stressed and not hiding in the closet, or wherever but it's going to take time. So what I would suggest in order to break this, I would get yourself some like Lily's chocolate. Like what's your like vice, or like what's your choice? Like mine's gummy worms. Like I freaking love them. I don't know.
Reese's Cups and peanut butter M&Ms.
Okay, so you're a peanut butter chocolate lover. I love it. Me too, girl. Okay, sweet. Okay, so what I would suggest is getting like, they're all a little bit on the spendy side, but like what is it cost? Again, kind of like what is it costing you? Or you can Google some recipes on like how to make no sugar, low sugar. Like you can use monk fruit or and cacao powder. And you can make your own kind of like keto version of peanut butter eggs or whatever the case may be. Send me a message on Facebook. I'll see what I can like look up for you. But like, and like simple ones, because like your girl don't know how to cook for nothing. Like I'm horrible at it. But what I would do is like melt Lily's chocolates, freeze that, like, and put them in like a little, like I've done this before actually. So I would do Lily's chocolate melted in like a cupcake tin. Because Lily's chocolate already is like the already sweetened type thing, or you can do cacao powder and then monk fruit or whatever your sweetener is. And these are all like non-sugary things. Then you could use peanut butter and then just make like your own, pretty much. They're pretty simple. It's just, a matter of like just going out and getting the ingredients to tide you over. So you're now replacing that sugar, which if you continue to give into the sugar craving with more sugar, you're going to perpetuate more sugar craving. So you've got to kind of stop all of that anyway. But work on your stress management, work on like, if food and sweets was not an option, how would I manage my stress, and how would I, what would I do instead? And start to replace a lot of those choices with that tool. Like for me, if I'm stressed out and I'm really overwhelmed, like I put on some music and I have a dance party really fast, or I'll like journal or just breathe, just to get myself out of the same pattern, right? Sometimes we just sit there and we're like, why did I do this again? Like, understand that that's going to be part of the process. For one, you're gonna literally watch yourself eat the crap and then wonder why you're doing it. But I want you to be like, and now I know what I want to do differently, right? So it's like, then you can start auditing, okay, well, I was super stressed out. I don't know if you have kids or whatever, like kids and my husband, like our partner, blah, 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 were stressing me out. Oh my God, like I can't handle this. And then recognize, okay, I'm heightened state of stress. Maybe do the self-sabotaging behavior, but then audit yourself after, like, okay, what went, like, that did not go well. I'm clearly taking ownership of that did not go well. However, I know that I want to change. What can I do better, differently, and next time in order for that to not blow up in my face and make that poor choice? Could you have managed your stress better? Could you have made a better choice in terms of something to satisfy that sweet tooth that wasn't the peanut butter and that was actually like a fat bomb or like something healthy? You know what I mean? Or can we do like peanut butter and celery? I mean, it's not the freaking same, but like, you know what I mean? It's just, and then I would explore like too, like what parts of that food that like would actually be in a replacement. Cause maybe if it's the peanut butter, you really like the peanut butter, you do slap on some celery and then do some raisins to get the sweet part of it. And then maybe that does satisfy you and it kind of tricks your brain a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just kind of exploring the stress, the replacement to manage the stress. And then, Oh, that's so cute. Did he just want to give you some loving? Oh, that's the cutest thing ever. Couple goals there for me. And then having the replacement and then understanding it's going to be a journey and a process. Like you're not going to just change this overnight, but the more that you're actively trying to change it, like the dog does not change overnight after one lesson, right? You have to reinforce the behavior. So we now need to figure out what's the different behavior that I want to reinforce. Cool. Does that help? And then drink ketones. That will help you as well. Suppress
No,
the sugar
that
cravings and
that's
things
like
like that.
that's helpful. That's
What?
helpful. I said that's helpful. I can actually take that and try to apply it to my everyday life. So yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, it's with everything. I get it. All right, cool. All right, Anne, you're up, girl. See, I told you one person goes and then everybody else wants to go. Go ahead, Anne.
Hi, everybody. Mandy, thank you so much for doing this. This is
Sure.
great for me. Um, Greetings from the west of Ireland.
Hello, we're
I
global, baby.
yeah, I
What time
love
is it there?
it's bedtime. It's 23:49 now.
What time
So
is
I've been doing keto to feel better. Weight and food has been huge all of my life. I was put on a diet when I was 3 years old. So I do think I became a food addict. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I ended up with gastric bypass in 2007. I had to go to Belgium for it because they didn't do them in Ireland at the time. But I didn't deal with eating habits. It's just I had smaller bits. So gradually you get to eat more, but I have arthritis now and inflammatory things. So I just feel so good when I stick to a version of keto. I feel I don't understand it. So you've reassured me that I don't need to keep counting because I don't know how to do it.
Girl, you
Grams,
don't need to.
carbohydrates. Yeah, so I feel so much better having heard that from. That's why I came on, pen, paper, ready to do calculations. I'm delighted that it's okay. So what I have been doing since June, um, is the best I can. I don't weigh myself too often. I notice my clothes fit a lot better. I did weigh myself in honor of this occasion, and I'm down 43 pounds. It would have been a lot more if I didn't take a 3-week break at Christmas and put 12 pounds back on from mince pies. So I do envy you there having maybe access to more sugar-free products.
Yeah.
Like the chocolate and that. Like I'm paying €5 for a chocolate bar, a sugar-free chocolate bar, so I kind of spare them. But what I have been kind of doing is sometimes it's kind of I feel I stagnate a bit, and then sometimes I just know by my clothes or whatever. I just sort of imagine my internal organs being surrounded by fat. I want to lose that. So I'm not doing too bad, I think. And but I find if I crave a food, because I don't understand it, if I crave something, I'm thinking, maybe I shouldn't be eating that. Because when I'm going good, I don't crave anything. And I'm usually not very hungry anyway. And I have to think, oh, did I eat yet today? Oh, I better eat something. And there'd be a lot of omelets and a lot of stir fries and things like that. I've never woken up in the middle of the night thinking, geez, I'd love a leaf of lettuce right now. I don't crave those things. So, but with sugar, oh my God, if I eat it, I've been known to smuggle bars in my handbag to hide them from my husband, But that's when, if I eat one and then I think, oh, the day is ruined, I might as well shove everything in there. But once I'm going good and there are no cravings for sugar or that, so really, I suppose what I wanted to come on was to find out more about NAP. This is all new to me now that you can drink ketones.
Yeah.
Because I feel I'm not in ketosis a lot of the time. But because I'm now eating less, I think I'm getting some of the benefits from it. But I'd love to get into ketosis with the whole anti-inflammatory effect with the arthritis. And just to say thank you so much.
Oh my God. Okay. So you're so adorable. Thank you for showing up for yourself. I have no idea what actual time it is there because it's 7:40 or 7:55 here. But I just appreciate you popping on, and congratulations on your success and developing healthy habits and like doing the things, and also recognizing the healing powers of ketosis. I just don't want, because I don't even do a full keto anymore. And like, yes, I'm exactly like everybody else in the world where you feel better if you're eating clean, you're feeling better if you're, being more consistent with that, getting good sleep and, feeling great. I just think that a lot of the Facebook groups and things like that, like there's such a heavy emphasis on the how and like, oh my God, I got to get in ketosis and am I doing it right? And like, da 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 da, and not understanding that it takes like it really does take 6 to 8 weeks of no cheating, diligent macros, like, no stress, because stress will kick you out, like all of these things. And there's just so many factors that go into like, am I in keto, like putting yourself into that therapeutic state of ketosis. And just because you're peeing ketones on like the strips doesn't necessarily mean you're utilizing them. You actually want to pee clear on the strips after the 6 to 8 weeks, or you get a blood monitor and test to see where you're really at. It's a whole process that I just think that's unsustainable for most people. You can still reduce your inflammation and feel great and your arthritis and things just how I have by doing the healthy habits, not even incorporating the NAT. I would have to, I have to check and see what's available in Ireland if we're open there. So I'm not sure. Do you have somebody that you're working with already or not? Okay, perfect. Well,
No.
send me a message on Facebook or email me, because I think you obviously got all the emails. And then we can talk about like that and then trying to get some to you if we're not open there. But I just want to just reiterate that like nutrition, movement, self-care, sleep, hydration are the keys to reducing that. And listen, I had gummy worms yesterday. Like that's like my little like hormonal holly kind of whatever, but like I don't eat like an entire bag. I just have a couple, like, so it's just kind of just evaluating like, okay, what are my goals? What is my outcome? Like, is this in support? If it's not in support, can I like make a different decision? Or is this decision going to like derail me because I'm going to get because you said like, oh, I do so good for however long, and then you give yourself an inch and then you take a mile. Well, how do we work on that habit, not actually what you're actually doing? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that's a lot of people's MOs. It's like you open Carb Palooza and then it's like a carb party for however long, which is like not, and then it's like, then it's harder and harder to get that momentum back. I think it's just allowing yourself some grace and flexibility of like I had a client today, she was saying, oh, I went to the Cheesecake Factory and then I had 2 bites of my friend's cheesecake because it was too rich for her and I was totally satisfied. Whereas she used to be able to, or she used to just have like 4 cheese. So she would get a whole cheesecake and eat half of it. You know what I mean? So it's like she's growing and learning and she just got that satisfaction from a couple bites versus like having the whole bunch. Like she knows like her boundaries now. Does that make sense? So
Mhm.
does that help give you some clarity?
Oh, absolutely.
And then
Yeah,
did you have
yeah. And I will I will
specific-
email you about the NAT because I haven't heard of that BHB. I've never heard those before. I tried MCT oil once.
Oh, how was your bathroom? Did you have a nice
Let's just say it
bathroom
had an effect.
extravaganza?
There you go. So I eliminate, excuse the pun, but I eliminated that from my diet.
I think, yeah, I mean, it helped you eliminate, so then you eliminated that, I'm sure. Yeah. And MCT, like, and here's the thing that people don't understand. They like suck down all this MCT oil, not understanding that it's going to impact their gut. 1, 2, because they think like, oh, I'm gonna get ketosis. And then they like have that issue. And then and then it doesn't, there's calorie, like for 1 tablespoon of MCT. So people drink like a whole bunch and then they're doing like it 3-4 times a day. And then that's 300-400 calories on top of like whatever else they're eating. And then they're wondering why they're not losing fat. It's because it's burning that fat and not your actual body fat. So you want to, it's not as simple as like, oh, I'm cutting carbs or I'm cutting calories, right? Like it's quality of food and your stress and like everything we talked about. It's like all incorporate it all, not only just helps you lose weight, but the feel great part. So it's,
Mhm.
you know, focusing on that. So all good?
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who's next?
Mandy,
Hello.
it's Mary Hammond, and I was
Hi,
wondering if I
Mary.
could ask 2 quick questions.
Sure.
I wrote down MET method, and I got mindset and execution. I didn't get what the T
Oh, tactics.
tactics. Okay, great. And
Mindset,
then,
mindset, execute, tactics.
okay, great. And then I had a question about hydration. Somewhere I read you're supposed to drink an ounce for half of your body weight in ounces of water is hydration. I just wondered, have you heard that, or what do you consider hydration to be?
Yeah, I mean, okay, there's things pro and con to that because like if you don't have any gut health issues, then yeah, that's like the half of body weight. Like I don't actually know Mandy and math and all of that does not math for me. Like I'm a marketing Mandy, not a math Mandy. For one.
Okay.
But what I would say is how much are you getting now and do you feel like you need to improve? And I don't think and I don't think that you're asking this from a place of questioning like how do I lose fat faster by drinking more water. That's not what it is. But for people that may be listening on the replay or now, I think that there's no real like magic formula. You're going to change every
Okay.
day anyways, you know what I mean? Like, and this is the same with electrolytes that I didn't really talk about is we need to have electrolytes as we're eating clean. And if we're not regardless of whether or not we're eating bad or not, you need electrolytes. Electrolytes are your micro minerals in your body. And if you're not the sodium, potassium, magnesium, etc., all of those things help your human body perform, right? And detox, etc. If we're not replenishing those, then you'll have muscle cramps, keto flu, like all of the like lethargic, chronic fatigue, like times symptoms. So there's that. And then drinking water on top of that or not drinking that. So many people are like drinking, chugging water and not replacing the electrolyte. So it's not really like cellularly hydrating. And most people are not drinking enough water, period, end of story, to where they should be drinking more anyway. So I think it's just finding your own sweet spot. Like for me, I know that if I drink 2 of my tumblers a day, like I'm pretty good, but you're going to vary with electrolytes and you're going to vary with water depending on how much you poop, pee, breathe, sweat, and everything anyways. So like, there's really no like, yeah, of course, like the ideal I'm doing that, like whatever the math is for your body weight, etc. But like, is that even attainable? And I don't really like that formula because like, if you're like super overweight, you know what I mean? Like, then that's just like gallons of water, like that the math don't math there either, So I think it's a matter of just setting a minimum for what you're willing to do and then just keep building upon it depending. And like, you just trust yourself. Does that
Thank you,
help?
Mandy.
Yeah. Does that help?
It gives me a lot of help. I was just concerned because I've got dehydrated once, and I never want to get dehydrated
Oh,
again.
yeah.
That was scary. So I just wanted to make sure I'm drinking enough water. And
Medically dehydrated or you were like hospitalized or what was that?
I didn't actually go to the emergency room. I saw my doctor the next day, and she's the one who figured out I was dehydrated.
Yeah.
And
So yeah. Oh yeah. No. I passed out once.
oh, wow.
Yeah. But again, it's like, it's not just water though. So make sure you're getting electrolytes and the stuff. And like, listen, I'm not 10 out of 10 on all these habits, y'all. Like, and you're never going to be 10 out of 10 every single day, like, unless you are a freaking health ninja warrior. And like, I feel like I am that, but like, I don't get all my water in sometimes, or I sometimes like fall back into a bad pattern and like not sleep, or I, like, you're not perfect, but these are like the goals. And if you're doing these things to the best of your ability, you're never going to have to count macros. You're never going to have to do a math calculation. You're never going to have to worry about what diet you're doing or, being restricted on food. I think, again, being honest with yourself, like, okay, my 90-10 rule is really 50-50 lately. Like I need to dial it, you know,
Oh,
and forgiving yourself for where you are and how you ended up there is super important so that you can make changes going forward. I know that my past and where I'm at right now is not serving me. I want to make changes. Who do I need to become now? And are my decisions aligned with that person that I need to become or what my goals are? We just focus because of diet conditioning. We focus on, you know, the diet industry, the food industry, like so many things are impacting how we've been conditioned in addition to how food was viewed in your home, how, you know, all of these things are very impacted to the decisions that you're making day to day. It's like, we all know I should be eating better. Like you're smart, y'all are smart people, you know, like healthy food, right? Or like, I know need some water today, you know, like you're smart, but we've lost all trust in ourselves. We've lost all trust in our in like our intuition. And we're giving up our power to like, well, the keto Karens say this, and like the diet blog says this, and then Weight Watchers says this, and then the FDA says this, and like da 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 da. It's like, no, like forget all of that. What works best for Mary? Like how much water does Mary need to drink? You know?
okay.
So
Great. Thank you, Mandy. I
you're
appreciate that.
welcome. Of course. All right. Anybody else? I am here at your service. Don't be shy. If not, then I think that I think I answered everyone's questions. All right. Well, I love y'all. Go ahead, girl. Yes.
Okay, no, I did have one more question.
Sure.
You say that you're not like strict keto, so I'm still kind of new to it. So like the term dirty keto, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess can you give me like your definition of what dirty keto is?
Yeah, that's like the sugar-free, like, and when I say sugar-free, I mean like Stouffer's sugar-free candy and like Powerade Zero and like the chemically processed sugar-free stuff that still spikes your insulin anyway. I feel like me personally, if I'm being fully transparent, I feel like dirty keto and dirty is just a label, an excuse to eat shit food, sorry to say. Like it really is. And most people that do it that way, like, yeah, okay. How do I say this? Like respectfully. It's like I think that dirty keto has its place. Well, first and foremost, before I go into that, forget diet labels. Like I don't do keto. If I had to label it, a low carb, conscious, ingredient conscious diet. Like that's focused on mainly protein because I eat very very, very high protein and pretty much no vegetables, hardly ever, you know, unless I feel like I need them. And then I eat gummy worms on occasion, i.e. last night, and like I drink my nat and whatever. But that's like going into like diet conditioning and diet like culture. And I just like hate that. Like you don't need to subscribe to whatever diet. You need to do what's best for you. Like I always make a joke, like I'm eating Mandivore. Like, and then I think that dirty keto would have a place for somebody that is going from like, because there's stepping stones, right? It's like if you're morbidly obese and you're eating 500 grams of carbs a day, and then you're going into like dirty keto and drinking the Powerade Zero to replace your like soda habit or something like that. I think that yes, like I would walk somebody through that process and that step. These lights are flickering. I'm freaking out. Like what's happening? Does that make sense? So it's like, yes, I would say that like dirty keto would have a place in terms of like, okay, like, yes, I would rather somebody eat a chemically processed crappy food than continue to eat 500 grams of sugar in soda and everything per day. Right. But I think that people are very zealot in terms of like the keto groups and like what diet they're doing. Whereas if they would just focus on eating better and moving more and managing stress and understanding themselves is way more, better use of your energy and time and effort and brain capacity, because it's figuring out yourself instead of what diet you're doing is like, you know, more of the work and is going to actually create the result. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
To you? Can I ask why you were just asking? Like, and listen, like if dirty keto, if you want to slap a label on whatever you're doing, by all means. But I think like, yeah, dirty keto is just like salami. I envision like, and I've seen like salami, cheese, Powerade Zero, Coke Zero, like, but they're living on that and not, and like the Aldi bread and like all of that, but it's all still, and then they're wondering still why they're tired and not losing fast and still spiking their insulin, not getting ketosis. Like all of those things also impact too, but they're not understanding like just because it says keto or zero doesn't mean it's not going to affect your blood sugar the way it's processed in your body.
Oh.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like focus more on ingredients versus the number. Because just because it says, like I said, like zero, and then like Lily's chocolate is sugar free, but that's actually clean monk fruit, not going to spike your insulin. Whereas like a Stouffer's sugar free candy, I 10 out of 10 don't recommend this because I'd say I've never had them, but like I've heard that people poop like crazy when they eat them. Like the Stouffer's candy, the sugar free Jolly Ranchers, like all of that stuff has like sucralose, maltodextrin. What's the other ones? Like just like crappy sugary ingredients that like still will make an impact on your body. So start thinking like, okay, is this food that I'm ingesting actually nutritionally dense? And that is what I would say to like focus on. Does that help?
Yes.
But I'm curious why you would ask, like, I'm just curious, like, just to peep in your brain a little bit. That's why I also did this call, because I wanted to peep into y'all's brains. What, like, makes you just curious about it? I'm just curious.
Because I was looking into different things, because I'm trying to get into keto, but I don't want to just jump straight into 20 grams of carb a day. And I was looking into different things. And then dirty keto was one thing I've seen. And then some people were talking about how they count net carbs and not just total carbs. I still don't understand that one either.
Well, as I was saying all day tonight is like, don't even stress on that. I think you have to worry about your sugar stress habit first before you worry about any of that. And then I would worry about setting your goal, setting your why, and then consistently making good, clean eating choices instead of like worrying about grams and carbs and all of that. Because the more clean, like if you're eating a meat, a veggie cooked in healthy fat, like for most of your diet, like you're naturally you're going to naturally reduce your carbs. You're naturally going to burn body fat. You're naturally going to fill in nutritional gaps that you weren't getting before, which will also reduce carb cravings, because a lot of cravings come from nutritional deficiency instead of actually the craving itself. So
what is a healthy fat? I've never understood that one.
So butter, avocado oil, coconut oil, did I say olive oil, ghee, like those are healthy fats that, again, people like suck down MCT oil. MCT oil is another healthy fat. But like, girl, what do you cook your steak in? You know, like if you're pan frying, you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't I don't cook the steak. He does because he likes to grill.
Okay, well, if you would just eat his grilled food and take his lovin' when he comes over and while you're on a Zoom, that was the cutest thing. Just eat the steak and eat the vegetables for 90% of your diet. You don't even need to worry about like the healthy fat part. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure your veggies are cooked in that. Or listen, like I eat a lot of like steak on a plate or like burger on a plate, or like, just cause like I'm a horrible cook. 1, 2, I need simple and easy, like, and I would just rather sometimes like I don't really want to make vegetables. I just want to eat steak on a plate and it's fine, you know, or wings, or like I just eat a lot of protein because it's easy, you know. So if you're starting to focus on like if I was coaching you and you were like week 1, I'd be like, okay, how can you get protein in every meal? We're not going to worry about grams. We're not going to worry about that. How can I get protein in every meal? And how can I replace my stress with a different habit?
Okay.
And then do that for like a week and then get really good at that. And then add on. And then if you're not seeing results by, 2 weeks of doing that consistency, then we pivot a little bit. But like, I'd be hard pressed to somebody that ate 14 days of high protein and manage their stress. They're not going to like start feel great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just, yeah, hopefully that helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, if nobody else has any questions, I loved this. This was so much fun. If you're interested in joining the membership, we do these types of things monthly, and we do themed topics. Emotional eating's coming up. We're doing healthy habit deep dive. We're doing 30 plus reasons why you're not losing weight deep dive. You have open coaching per every 2 weeks. Recipes, pretty much everything that you need in order to lose weight and feel great. So reach out and let me know if you're interested in that. If you're interested in gnats, we can talk about that. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I love y'all and thank you so much. And then if you were invited here by somebody else, make sure that you go get with them and reach out about gnats or myself. Okay. I love y'all. Good night.